From groundbreaking innovation to a devastating scandal, Boeing's journey from Dreamliner to nightmare has left a trail of broken trust and shattered reputations. Can this aviation giant ever soar again? The rise of the Dreamliner, a golden era. Back in the early 2010s, Boeing's 787 Dreamliner was supposed to be the future of air travel. A sleek, fuel-efficient marvel of modern engineering, the Dreamliner was designed to revolutionize the skies. Travelers marveled at the promise of quieter flights, more comfortable cabins, and less fuel consumption. And at first, it seemed like Boeing had done it. Airlines eagerly snapped up the aircraft, which was touted as a game changer. But as with most high hopes, the Dreamliner's success story came crashing down, quite literally. In 2013, the Dreamliner fleet was grounded worldwide due to a series of safety concerns, most notably issues with its lithium-ion batteries, which had started catching fire. The grounding was a rare event, the first time in 30 years that an entire fleet of commercial aircraft was halted by the FAA. To make matters worse, these were issues that should have been caught during testing, but as Boeing scrambled to manage the situation, it became apparent that the company had misjudged the risks, sacrificing safety for speed. What was supposed to be a smooth, exciting journey into the future of air travel quickly became an embarrassing setback. To add insult to injury, the resolution wasn't immediate. It took nearly 4 months for the grounding to be lifted after modifications were made to the battery system. The Dreamliner wasn't quite the dream plane everyone had envisioned, and Boeing's reputation took its first serious hit, the ultimate nightmare. If the Dreamliner's troubles were bad, the 737 MAX disaster was downright catastrophic. The 737 MAX was supposed to be Boeing's bread and butter, a faster, more fuel-efficient version of its best-selling 737. But in 2018 and 2019, the MAX became infamous for all the wrong reasons. 2 crashes, Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 claimed the lives of 346 people. The cause? A faulty piece of software called the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, designed to push the plane's nose down in certain flight conditions. Unfortunately, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System was triggered by faulty sensors, pushing the planes into uncontrollable dives. It's hard to imagine a worse scenario for a company than having your flagship aircraft cause 2 deadly crashes in such a short period of time. The 737 MAX was grounded globally, and Boeing found itself in a battle not just to fix the aircraft, but to regain the public's trust. For Boeing, this was a PR nightmare. Financially, the grounding cost the company over $18 billion in 2019 alone, not to mention the billions more spent in legal settlements and compensations to the families of the victims. And let's not forget the damage to Boeing's brand. The 737 MAX was no longer a marvel, it was a symbol of corporate negligence. The Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System scandal revealed serious flaws in the design and testing processes. The fallout from these crashes would haunt Boeing for years, as the company scrambled to make fixes and recertify the aircraft. But how do you restore trust when the very product you've spent years promoting is now feared by the public? The slow burn of Boeing's reputation. But it's not just the accidents themselves that damaged Boeing's reputation, it's the way the company handled the aftermath. After the crashes, the public learned that Boeing had been under immense pressure to get the MAX into service quickly to compete with rival Airbus. Boeing cut corners in testing, and there were accusations that the company had downplayed the risks involved in favor of getting the planes in the air. The transparency, or lack thereof, was another issue. Boeing, instead of openly addressing concerns and admitting fault, opted for legal battles, trying to deflect blame and minimize damage. This approach only worsened the situation, creating a growing sense of distrust among the public. Whistleblowers from within the company revealed that Boeing's culture was far from ideal, with engineers and safety experts reportedly being overruled or ignored when they raised concerns about the 737 MAX's design flaws. It became clear that Boeing, for all its technological prowess, had become a company that prioritized profits and speed over safety and integrity. Let's not forget the series of investigations and lawsuits that followed. The 737 MAX crashes were no isolated events. They were the culmination of a series of missteps that raised serious questions about Boeing's safety culture. The company found itself embroiled in countless legal battles and reputational crises, and as they piled up, so did the loss of public trust. In fact, Boeing has faced over 90% of civil lawsuits related to the MAX crashes, with victims' families receiving settlements. But nothing could fully make up for the lives lost. And as you might expect, no amount of money could erase the image of a company that seemed more concerned with its bottom line than with its customers' safety. Boeing was no longer seen as the innovative giant it once was. It was now a company that had let down not only its customers, but the entire aviation industry. The billion-dollar price of broken trust. It's easy to forget that Boeing is one of the largest and most profitable companies in the world. Yet, despite its size and history, it wasn't immune to the financial fallout from the 737 MAX crisis. As mentioned, the grounding of the 737 MAX cost Boeing an eye-watering $18.4 billion in 2019 alone. This doesn't include the ongoing financial strain from lawsuits and settlements, which continue to drain the company's resources. And even though Boeing has slowly been ramping up production of the MAX again, the aircraft's reputation remains tarnished. Stock prices are another telltale sign of Boeing's troubles. After the 737 MAX crises, Boeing's stock took a massive hit, losing billions in market value. While stocks have recovered somewhat, they have yet to reach pre-crash levels. Investors are now more cautious, and the shadow of the MAX scandal continues to loom over the company's financial outlook. It's not just about delivering airplanes, it's about restoring confidence in a brand that many now associate with safety risks and corporate mismanagement. Can Boeing rebuild trust? So what now? Can Boeing restore its tarnished image? The short answer is yes, but it's going to be a long and uphill battle. For Boeing to rebuild trust, the company needs to focus on a few key areas. First and foremost, Boeing must prioritize safety above all else. This isn't just about improving technology, it's about fostering a culture that values transparency, accountability, and open communication. Boeing must embrace a more rigorous approach to testing and safety protocols, ensuring that nothing, absolutely nothing, is left to chance. The public needs to feel that their lives are in safe hands, and that's something Boeing will need to prove over time. Next, transparency will be crucial. Boeing needs to be more open about its internal processes, its challenges, and how it plans to address any safety concerns in the future. The company can no longer afford to sweep issues under the rug or downplay the seriousness of safety concerns. It must be forthright and honest with its customers, investors, and the public. Lastly, rebuilding trust means rebuilding relationships. Boeing needs to engage with the public and airlines in a more meaningful way, addressing concerns directly and showing that it values the safety and well-being of its customers above all else. This isn't just about fixing the planes, it's about fixing the image of a company that, for all its accomplishments, has become synonymous with scandal and tragedy. And that's a wrap on Boeing's bumpy ride from Dreamliner to nightmare. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the highs and lows of aviation's most infamous saga, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and keep your seatbelt fastened for the ride ahead.